All right, welcome back, everybody. It is episode 10, and today we have a lot of work to do. But first, I need to catch you guys up on what has changed since the last episode. So, first and foremost, we have companions now because if you recall, we cleared level 50, and we've had a lot of changes in the vaults, and I've been running a lot of vaults because oh my gosh, you guys, this game is so good. I am so addicted, and in like for all the right reasons. And we got a nice little kitty cat here, and named it Key to the City. And the reason why is because we go in here, and you can see that it's temporal modifier, which is a one-time use ability. It's Door Hunter. Hold shift and reveals all doors inside the vault. And that matters because that gives you what are the vaults? You got what are the vaults? What are the doors? Vendors, right? Which are red. The dungeons, which are purple, and the reason why I bring this up is the yellow ones, which are for treasure rooms, which was also something that was on our list here for questing. And I did finally find one of those. Made some keys, and also made this really expensive key ring. And you can see there that I've made other keys as it's come up. That means running a lot of gilded POIs inside the vaults. So I got 2 Upaline and a Xenium. Now, I didn't intentionally make both Upalines. I got a free one because there was a drop that was like a random, what is it? It's one of these things. This one. Unidentified treasure key. So that was pretty cool. Then I was like, oh no, it was one that I'd already made. So, and I choose the keys based on what I have most of at the time. And I changed my filter to be unique gems, and so I'll just make for example, if I were to make one right now, it would be tubium. So anyway, what else? I redecorated the walls. I think I mentioned I was going to do that, and I finally did using my favorite building tool, which I don't really build much, but when I do, I use a trowel. And that is so that way I get a nice little mixture of different blocks. So we got like we got the brick and the cracked brick, and I just feel like it's not as clean now, which I think is a good thing. It makes makes my base look a little bit more lived in and a little bit more fluid, and I think it's great because you don't really notice like the little portal design that I did around these things that were actually probably looks more like arches, but they're less pronounced, which I don't know, I don't love, but it looks more organic this way. Oh gosh. Finally get cards now that I've cleared 50, and I have not opened any of them. Something that a while back Rev had said to his audience on one of his streams was that people really liked seeing cards being opened. So going to try to make time for that today. But really, I have a crate problem, you guys. Oh my gosh. And I don't know why. This was not intentional, not by design. It just happened that way. I've been running bounties. Look at all the bounties, you guys. Like there are so many of them. Like all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? There's a lot of them. So yeah, I've been collecting crates, not opening them. So we're gonna go through that. I'm going to show you guys the de-looting so you can see what that looks like. And before we do that, I'll walk you through it so you guys can kind of see how I have it set up, because I did more or less finalize this setup. So feel free to screenshot that. What that does is it leaves items in my direct inventory that I don't need to be sorted after I run a vault. So for example, in a scav vault, all the scav items will appear. So that way they're nice and handy for when you need to drop them off in the I forget those pedestal things, because you can't run them. You can't do that from your bags, from your storage, which kind of sucks. But so those are all right here. the bounties. If you get the cool bounties, I forget what those legendary bounties. Those are here because you just need to directly apply those on here. Which some of these are, I think, two or three of them are those. And then other items that are just like the one-offs that I don't need to sort, like the companion items. Which, speaking of, so like these two things. So these are for crafting the relics, which are boosters for what your companions can do. So, for example, they can get you. They're really powerful. They can get you like they're like the modifiers in vaults. So like extra ornates, extra gilded, etc. And then the trails, which are just colorful little add-ons to what your dudes do. Which, where did mine go? Where'd the kitty cat go? What the? Is she hiding? Did I hide her? No, I still have her on. But this was actually the first one that I got. He's a pug named Wrinkles. I did not name him. It just worked out that way. And you can see you can have put 4 relics on them and 4 particle slots, which is crazy. And so they level up as you run vaults. And so they have a you can see 44-minute cooldown. That's on their ability. So you use it, so it's going to be once per vault. So in which case this one is the coin explosion. So and so you find these little companion eggs when you're running vaults, and it happens randomly. I forget the odds of making them pop up, but when you find them, you hatch them inside the incubator, which takes like 30 seconds or so, and then it's just a random one. And so these are where you see, there we go. This is where you keep them, and you can see where they're at, and this is where you add all this stuff. So, but you shift right click, and then they go in this spot. So, and they just kind of follow you around. But like one of my favorite parts is you can also change their skins, how they look, like it's a black cat versus a white cat. But eventually, when you stop moving, they get bored, and they just will eventually like lay down and go to sleep, which is pretty adorable. But yeah, so that's the plan. We need to go over. We just need to go through all this loot, and then if there's still time, after that, run a raw vault, because I was talking to Dark, and he's finally ready to do his build, and he's saying that he needs nether material so we can do some raw vaults and hopefully find get a room with another room so we can get some of that stuff. Primarily blackstone, I think is what he said. So, but first things first. So how does my delooting work? So this is kind of, you guys have seen this before, but this has kind of been organically happening as I've like added more of the different vault stations. So as it is right now, it just pulls all items except, okay, they're called blacklisted, and that's these items here, and these are the random roll stuff. And except for these are all the random roll stuff. Okay, unidentified items, and so that will leave them in my bag here, and then I'll just come over here and right click it, and then open it back up, and I'll do this once we've opened up all the chests, assuming there is some in there, and then I'll sort through it and toss whatever I'm not gonna bother with. Oh, that reminds me, most of my gear is pretty up to date except for my boots. Now, my boots aren't garbage, but they are level 38. That doesn't mean that they're bad, because some things can be low level and stick with you for like forever. Like I think my magnet's actually pretty. Oh no, that's up to date. Oh, because it's living. But yeah, I would, with the higher level, it just means you have a chance of getting higher values. So for example, you see like that armor, see how it says 8 to 10, right? In the level 50s, that might be more like 9 to 12 or 10 to 15, something like that, right? So there's going to get some higher values. So, but some gear will last longer. So for example, if you look at the armor down there where it says +5, 1 to 6, that +5 might still be better than a low one at a higher level. So, for example, a higher level, well, this one is 1 to 6. A higher level might be like 3 to 9, and I get a 4. This one still can be better. So it really just depends. But what I really love, ideally, I think what everybody wants is Omega. So you have more prefix and or so you have more slots for stuff, and then living on it. So that way it lasts forever, and it just will not last forever, but it updates whenever it can, whenever you level up. So yeah, so that's the deal with that. And then we send things to the stat booster pack there, and I'm doing that as kind of like this, where any vaults that I run between episodes, they'll just get sorted, so that way I open it up in front of you guys. You're not missing out. Oh, and I did have to make a deck, but I don't have any cards yet, so there's nothing to put in here. What else? Oh, jewel pouch. That part you've already, same kind of drill. Those ones I'm not really opening on camera. Well, I mean, I will, but only as needed, because I haven't really done a whole lot of tool crafting. It's nothing interesting. This is just wooden and picking. This is just the various chests. Oh, my new sword. Well, not new sword, but I don't think I've shown you guys this. Look at the name of it. If you guys get the reference, then I'm proud of you. But look at this thing. Oh my gosh. This thing was a game changer. I crafted this one. The original item I did not create. That one was a drop because I saw the 50 attack damage. I'm like, I think at the time the sword that I was using was like low 30s, so I was like, yes, please. But the chilling and the chaining, baby, woo! The shocking I don't love because it's knockback, but it can be kind of fun because it can really, like, if I'm trying to back out of a POI that I was a little too aggressive with, they kind of turn themselves into bowling pins, where if the one that's closest to you has shocking already, like you hit once, it has shocking, you hit him again, it will send them flying into the other ones, and that causes like this kind of a shock domino effect, which is a lot of fun. And the last one is the inscription table, which I had to move. I don't know if you guys really care about where I put things in here, but I swapped this corner with the mailbox there. And I'm no longer souling the scrolls because I didn't realize that I needed them for here. So now they're just going to go in there. So that's what this corner is here. And then this one is the important one. Okay. What this does is this does a round robin where it goes try, and then does another lap if there's still more items. Try. And so these are the different stations that come with the vault mod. Okay. So I'll put this on. You guys can you can literally see what it does. So in order, it'll go do, and try to put all these items away to where they go. And then when that's done, anything that's left will go into here. So, what else? Oh, you can see my, I now have because I'm post 50, I now have a colorful, fancy name. And you can see I do have a lot of deaths. So, yeah, that's the thing. And I did see Dark last night, and yeah, I definitely have the most deaths. Okay, so let's get to it. What do we want to do first? I think we'll do this. And so, what's going to happen is I'm going to open these, and everything is going to immediately disappear. You're not going to see everything on the ground, and the reason why is because it's all going to get sucked up in here as if I had looted them inside a chest. So you guys are going to get to see that as well. So that should be fun. Boom. Wow. Only one item didn't go in, and I don't know why. Oh no. That one I just don't have that one filtered. Okay. Well, that's fine, because that's just gonna go right in here anyway. Right? No, that one actually should go directly, yeah. Okay, so when we open this, yeah, cool. Oh, and there's some cards too. All right, now there's no reason for me to sort it, but I'm going to anyway. And now what we'll do is we're going to throw this down, and I will immediately open it up, and you guys can see how things get sorted. These will all be left here. But here we go. Ready? Zoom. Just like that, and it just leaves the random loot. Pretty sweet, right? Takes only a couple of seconds. I come over here and I go blink. Open it up. And that is how I de-loot. So we're just gonna quickly go through all this stuff. What I'm hoping for is boots. Otherwise we need to craft some. Oh yeah, see? Okay, so this is a good example. These boots, just looking at the armor and ability power alone, is a pretty decent upgrade. The bonus armor though kind of balances, gives favor to my current ones, but these are rare, right? As opposed to my current ones, which are epic, the purple versus yellow, which means the rarer they are, the more ethics spots they have. So it doesn't change implicits. Implicits are always 2, but the prefixes and suffixes. So you can see 2 versus 3 and 2 and 2. So, you know, the other stats we can re-roll. Implicits are rarer to reload. So those are actually pretty decent. So we'll set those aside. We'll consider those. What I like to do is go, okay, is there anything that immediately jumps out at me is worth playing with? And then we'll revisit after I've looked at everything else. Now, you can see this one has that little green thing in the corner that indicates that it's living. Now, when we look at my existing helmet, it's not the best because I think those rolls are kind of, yeah, those rolls aren't 11 to 13. It's 11. Those implicit rolls aren't the best. It's the other ones that are pretty great. The armor, attack damage, effective avoidance, meh. But the mana regen, 30%. Ooh, that's beefy. And that's not even the best. Like 50 is. And that's living. But yeah, the implicits are garbage. So yeah, not for me. Yeah, even these ones, even these magic ones are still better. Woo! That armor, goodness. But I don't know. I struggle. Like I don't want to. I don't like to go backwards in rarity, so I tend to hold on to things more because I want more. You know, I want more fixes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a little bit better, but meh. Yeah, and it's gonna be really hard for me to find a better magnet than this one. My current one's got the living, high pull range, high pickup range, or excuse me, pull speed, pickup range. It's more the mining speed and the copious that I really like. That mining speed affects everything. So yeah. And I would not say the copious is a deal breaker for any reason, but that's just more of a perk. Because honestly, like, you're never gonna not want more gems. Like that's not something anyone's gonna say no to. But you know, that mining speed is. Okay, so let's take a look at these two again. So I feel like the affixes aren't, because those can be re-rolled, and by that I mean like we have lots of options with these focuses to re-roll. This re-rolls the prefix and suffix. This adds a random. This removes a random. So we have tons of options to re-roll these. So that I'm not worried about. It's more important to me that the implicits be better. So I think both of these have better implicits. This one here has way more armor because the total armor with the bonus on my existing is 13. So this is already 3 up on that. Now, my existing ones do have the increased ability power. Now, I believe that's global, right? So what I think how that works is when you're looking at the total combined ability power of all my gear, that's where that implicit value, the 17.5, contributes. And I think I'm probably wrong, but I think how it works is then the total gets added for all my gear, just a simple additive math, right? 17 plus 16 plus 10 plus 10 plus 5, whatever, everything is. And then the increased ability power goes, okay, takes that and adds 6% to it, right? So this doesn't have that. So, yeah, but it does have a higher base value. So, for example, let's take a look at my gear now. Okay, so my ability power right now is 225. Now, again, that's also with the spell book, but that's fine because we're going to keep making that thing because it's way too awesome for our build. So, so this has the higher base ability power, but doesn't have the increased. So I'm curious to see. So that's a 6 higher, right? But it also has a 6% increased, right? Which I think again is global. So if we look at the 225, and that's 226. So kind of it's barely better, right? But given the loss of the other things, not really worth it. Now the healing efficiency, that one's also not a deal breaker for me. It just means that when I do, when I come across lucky hit heals, or I do the healing potion, it just means I get more when that happens. So, yeah, so that's more one off. So I might have to tinker and try to do some crafting on these. And if that's something you guys want to see, please let me know in the comments. I really want to know if you guys want to see the process of me kind of humming and hawing over that, because I don't know that it's super interesting, as opposed to, hey guys, I'm going to craft on these boots, and then next episode you guys see the results. I don't know that I'm going to work on these because these are these are both rare versus my current or epic. So if these were epics, I absolutely would, because those base implicits are both better. So I'm probably just going to say screw it, and then maybe try doing some where is it? Try doing some boot crafting, but I need to get some materials for that. So yeah, let's just toss those, and then let's do some card action. Now, I believe the cards work. These packs, Kraken packs back from my Magic days. I believe that these work similarly to the jewel pouches, where you can open them and choose from 3, or shift open them and it'll just choose the best. So I have no idea how it's going to do that. So I think I'll just do them one by one, and we will go off of the best first. Or can I just, yeah, we can just pull them down. Okay. Oh, wow. There's more of them in here. Ooh. Okay. So how this works is you have to choose one, right? And then whatever you don't want to use, you can then store, or you can juice them and start, and then you get these little golden, it's called card juice, but they look like gold coins. And those, for every 10, you can spend to upgrade these. So for example, you can see that's tier 1, these are all tier 1, you got the little 1 there. So any existing cards that you do decide to put in your deck, you can then apply that juice to upgrade them and make them more potent. So none of these are particularly awesome for me, although I do like the Lucky Chance. And the reason why I like the Lucky Chance, which I should probably spend some points, I'm all over the place, you guys, sorry. Because what I do want to have is I like to have some Lucky Hit for getting this Life Leech. And Lucky Hit is, when we go back here, Lucky Hit is not high. It's your gear can have it, and right now it says 8%, and I don't know where that's actually coming from. Oh, that's from my wand. Lucky hit chance. So what this does is, when there's an 8% chance to get a lucky hit, and when that does, it can give me some life leech. So that way I don't have to I don't have to do the potions so often. So this is a way to have increased on top of that, right? So I think what I want to do is we're going to also have a cleave here, which gives me, when I do have a lucky hit, it'll give me life leech, but also part of a cleave in a 5x5 area, which means how that works is random chance or small chance for this to happen that it's going to hit in a 5x5 area for a portion of my damage, and that increases more mobs to hit for life leech. So we're going to spend 2 in here. So there's already spent 2 with the life leech. We're going to max this out. So we're going to go boom, boom, and then we're going to spend 2 in there to get me increased chance of lucky hit. So we'll spend more in here over time. And then we have 1 point left. We'll just spend that on the mana regen. There we go. What else did we want to do? Oh, lucky companion. So I told you about like the cooldown, right? We definitely want to lower that because we want to be able to do it as often as possible. So we're going to spend that. And then knowledge points, nothing to spend. So we'll let that sit there. So we're going to continue to open these here. Now, mining speed is handy, but increased ability power, that scales. So that's the global one that I was talking about. Oh, between the two of these. Now, the colors matter. Like, for example, I think you could probably get like the same item in 2 different colors. The colors matter because there are things, other cards that you'll have in your deck that will go, okay, buffs to, green cards or blue cards or whatever. So just like, I mentioned magic, just like with that, where like the more you have of all the same color, the more you're going to really kind of, if you're kind of tweaking your deck in a way that, like that will go. It's not so much like blue is always this, green is always that, not that I'm aware of anyway, but it just kind of how much synergy you get out of that. So I kind of want to go with the AoE just because ability power is whenever I'm using my fire shot, but AoE is always. So it's going to affect more things. So we finished looting. Yeah, we finished looting. Okay. So now we just kind of keep going through these. There we go. Ability power. Yeah, see, this is another one that's like more mana is always going to be good. It's going to increase the pool down here, but I'd rather have rarity because that's going to affect all things. As much global as I can get my hands on, the better. Yeah, so this is a good example of like ones that I'm probably just going to juice. But it's like it's free bonus loot, right? But none of these are particularly awesome, so yeah, no. So if this is also what you guys want to see, please let me know. Otherwise, I just have to guess and go whatever thing I think is interesting. But I figured for the first time, I might as well go through this with you guys, so you can see and maybe kind of hear my thought process. Okay, so this is great. So these aren't tiered ones. I forget the name of the pack that this was in. What is it called? Okay, so this is a booster pack. Perfect. Right on cue. So you can see here, increased ability power for each green in the row. Okay. So what that means is it does count. I do believe it counts itself. Okay. So by just having this in the deck by itself is going to give you 0.2 increased ability power. Again, I believe it's global. So 0.2 sounds small, but when considering it's global, 0.2 if your base ability power is like 200, which mine is over that, 0.2 actually is going to be, more, it's going to be a noticeable difference. Okay. But for each green in the row. So what that is referring to is this. So for example, if I had that anywhere here in the, in this 5 row and I had 4 other ones, that's going to be compounded. So if all 5 of these, that would be 0.1 instead of 0.02. Or instead of 0.2, it would just be 1%. So, yeah, so that is something we want. Now, CDR is always handy, but right now I'm willing to wait. You guys have seen me run vaults. I'm not the fastest at it. So, ooh. And this is where remembering the other cards that you already have, or or if your deck is already established, which I am putting in there, it might influence. Well, a red and a green are both good. Well, I have mostly green, right? So it's something to be mindful of. But they're not always the same, right? This one is, but this one's not. So this is a green card, but it goes for each blue in a diagonal, right? So attack speed means I'm going to hit faster, which means I'm going to have greater chance for getting more of the lucky hits, etc. So that's going to be handy as opposed to looting, and CDR also is good for each green adjacent. Oh boy, but this is going to compound a lot more. So I'll continue to go through these. This is a little agonizing for me because I like to sit and overthink. But yeah, it's a bit of a rambling episode for episode 10, but I hope you guys like seeing me agonize over these things. You like hearing me think out loud, go through the process. And hopefully next episode I'll have my deck figured out and I can remember to go over it and explain it to you guys. But I think that will do it for today. I'm hoping to get some of the other chaps on the server to run vaults with me in the future, and that should be exciting. And I'm pretty sure I'm the farthest along level wise, so I'll be carrying them, and you guys can see how awesome I am right now. I'm really not. I'm just having a lot of fun. So, yeah, that's gonna do it for today, guys, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.